Hi there, it's time to look at PYTH and see what are the whales doing. If you're new to my session, I'll cover the Wyckoff stage, the trend change risk, and also key price levels. These are not financial advice, they're for education purpose only. So, the weekly chart of PYTH is showing us the past testing period is still going on. The testing period is basically where the whales are trying to check out the paper hands if anybody bought the dip. Okay, they can move the price up, swing it up, bringing it back down. So whoever that are paper hands are going to definitely, sell and leave for a while. It has been staying around this level between the bottom set by the October 10th week, okay, back in 2025, the tariff announcement date, at around 0.048. All right, that's the support level that's been supporting the trading activities for the past 6 weeks. While the trading range top for the past 2 months or 2.5 months now, it's at 0.075 roughly. Okay, so as of this moment, the volume has been staying very low. So if there are no crazily bad news coming out, this, or neither negative or positive. If it is very negative, there is a chance that it's going to challenge this or even breaking this support level set by October 10th. And then, if positive news comes in, definitely it's going to break above this, try to break above this 0.075. The bulls will try to push hard. The whales will obviously add to the, put gas to the oil. It's putting both oil and gas to the flames. Okay, so basically the whales are going to let it run up to challenge the solid white line over here. That's at around 0.09. That's the bottom of the long-term playground. So it's basically, most of the times, 70-80% of the times, PYTH has been trading within this long-term playground. PYTH is still a young project, so this long-term playground may evolve over time. As of now, this, like I said, the 9 cents as well as the 13 cents are the two levels when positive news come in. The bulls has to show us their sufficient power to push through these lines, because the ultimate test is this, the orange key level of 0.19, the 19 cents. If you look at earlier in the cycle, you can see why. During the automatic rally where the bulls set the trading range top or the whales set the trading range top, these 2 weeks, you see those 2 weeks, the price ended up closing at that orange key level. And subsequently, the sign of strength stage, where there was volume and also price advancement, they tried to challenge the 0.26 key level, the yellow key level. But the whale shot them down and brought it back to the orange key level 0.19. So that's why I said the intermediate targets, if positive news comes up, are those two, the white solid line as well as the red key level. But ultimately, we want to see the price to challenge the 0.19, because that's going to tell us whether this is really going to break outside of the accumulation trading range and head towards the next distribution cycle. So this is the big picture. Now, let's get to the micro. So last session, I talked about these intermediate levels, and we talked about this Jan 19th date where there is a chance for PYTH to tell us whether this is going to confirm a trend change. Unfortunately, it bounces off from the ceiling of the downtrend, and it's continuing to edge towards the next date, which points to the 3rd of February. But yesterday and today showed us declining volume. Let's attribute that to weekend phenomenon. So if you look at here, Friday, Saturday, very low volume. And this Friday, Saturday, very low price spread, but slightly higher volume. But if you look back, every Friday, Saturday, the likelihood of having lower level activity is higher. All right, likelihood is higher, not that the activity is higher. All right. So if we look at here, when we start next week, let's see whether we'll get a confirmation that the downtrend is really over. All right, this downtrend started way back in August for PYTH. All right, it hasn't exited the downtrend yet. Some people would draw the downtrend differently. So I am aligning the ceiling to the recent rejections. All right, some people would have kept the downtrend over here, this line of activities. All right, but given the macro environment and what's going on across the board for crypto, especially altcoins that are staying low, my interpretation is that the previous period, all the way to the end of last year, the price was trading at the weaker half of the channel. All right, the environment wasn't good. The narratives aren't positive. So that's why instead of putting that as a reference that the price is trading on the stronger half of the channel, this is the picture that I choose to look at instead of the one over there. All right, that's way too positive when you look at what's happening around the world. All right, sometimes you have to make these judgment calls while the chart shows you similar patterns. So you have to decide which side is the one that's more aligning to what's happening in the macro world. All right, don't just focus on the charts, inject or absorb what's going on the outside world and put it into your judgment. If you're interested in getting access to these sessions 2 days earlier than the others, it's time to join the membership now. Thanks for joining me. I'm moving on to the SWE session. See you over there.